Now you can have this small camera and you can take video.
It's full HD. Very good. You ready?
Yes.
Dahl? You're not Dahl.
What's your name?
I'm Robin.
Robin?
Yes, I'm Robin Stienberg. I'm a talk show host.
Robin Stienberg.
Yes. Okay. You're ready? I'm ready.
I'm too.
Okay, we'll just look at the camera for a few seconds, and after I turn to you, you just talk to me this way.
Like I'm talking to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We're very conversation talk show.
Yes.
Hi, welcome to the National Critics' Choice Online News. I'm Robin Steinberg, and welcome to the Steinberg Review. And today we have Mr. Kjell Dahl. He's a Norwegian fiction writer here with me in Singapore for the Singapore Writers Festival 2012. Mr. Dahl, thank you for joining us here at the National Critics' Choice Online News.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful work that you've done so far in the past in your fiction writing, and you have done some experience as well with it. Tell us, what's your inspiration being an author? How do you first begun writing, and why do you choose writing fiction?
Yes. I have always wanted to be a writer. When I was 15, 16, a teenager, I was writing songs for the rock bands. So I was playing in a rock band, right? And I wrote poems, etc. And then I wanted to create a novel, right? And I did when I was something on 20, and I was refused. And I said to myself, I'll never write anything again. But I couldn't keep the promise, so I just carried on. And at the age of 35, I published my first book.
And now, what took you so long to publish your first book? Was it because of your work in a rock band?
Yes, and other things. I didn't have time because I was a little bit disappointed when I was refused. So I had, and I think I had to mature a bit. I have to have some more experiences. I write in Norwegian crime fiction, so and crime fiction is about the society. It's about people making choices. It's about extreme choices and the consequences. So I think it was good that I used this time.
So, based on your crime fiction, is it based mainly the Norwegian culture itself?
Yes.
As well as Europe?
Yes. The books, the novels takes place in Oslo. Oslo is the capital of Norway. It's my town in a way, and it is police procedure books. My protagonist is a couple of policemen, 1, 2, 3. I change between them. It's a universe policeman, and then they have to solve these mysteries that occur in Norway.
Now, have you ever wondered and wished that you want to be a policeman yourself or a detective?
No, I haven't. I know a lot of policemen, and I think in the real life, policemen is a very boring life.
Really?
Yes, and it's a tough, hard-working life, and it's extreme life with long nights and a lot of frustrations. But also, of course, police is a kind of military institution in a way with this kind of organization. So I am a person that have this crave for liberty and freedom, and that's why I'm an author.
Now, how do you first get your material to write crime fiction? Did you actually done a lot of interviews with police officers and friends?
I mean, all kind of research. It's very inspirational. I'm heavy into research, and I think that's the most important thing with my writing, because crime fiction needs to be not reality, but almost reality. So you have because we have these. When I write, I say, okay, this is the policeman, this is the villain, this is the victims, etc. And the reader has to believe that. So it has to be some kind of reality there. So I do a lot of interviews with my police friends, and sometimes I drive around with them by night, etc., to get some inspiration. But at the same time, it's important that I'm the boss of my writing. So if there's a conflict between what is correct police procedure and what I think is best to have in a book, I choose my judgment as best.
Now, coming to crime fiction itself, is there any one investigation that you found that is too frightening, but yet you're able to overcome and write about it? Is there one story that you are inspired the most?
Yes, there are some stories that has inspired me, but at the same time, I usually say that writing crime fiction is an excuse to write about something else, because in my fiction, the murder and the resolution is not always the case that is important. The case that is important is what kind of locations, what kind of characters, what the characters do, why they do things. Writing crime fiction is a way of exploring my society, because Norway has grown from a very poor country in the 70s, and we were exporting fish, etc. And now Norway is one of the richest countries in the world by digging out oil from the North Sea. So this change does a lot of things to people, and my project is to investigate what makes this change do with people, right? So therefore I use this crime fiction because the characters in these stories, they are extremes in a way. But also I am inspired by special incidents like there's some cold cases, killings in the farm that has been solved by police. I am willing to go into that and use this in my novels and try to get some explanation.
Now, in the culture of writing in Norway itself, does the government as well as your culture encourage people to write these days? Or has that changed because of social network and internet?
I think there's no official encouragement to say you should write that. But we have from the government a lot of scholarships because writing is the best tool for a language to survive, right? So the Norwegian language is vulnerable. It's a small language. We are only 5 million people speaking that language, and internet and other media is bombing the Norwegian language with English words and phrases. So that's why literature is a very important subject in Norway. So writers get scholarships, they get support in a way, but not everyone. But there are very good systems in Norway too.
Now, what is the philosophy of writing a good fiction for crime stories? What is the philosophy for writing good crime fiction stories?
Why I do that? Why I try to do it?
Well, yes, but what's the philosophy? Why do you write? Why do you choose to write crime fiction?
I have to admit, I write both fiction, crime fiction, and non-fiction. I've been writing for many years now. But why I write crime fiction is that crime fiction is contemporary fiction, is fiction about the society, because criminals, they make extreme choices and they put themselves outside the society. So these stories that evolves out of criminal cases is stories about the society and the outsiders, and therefore it's a story about our society, what is wrong, what is not wrong, what is normal, what is not normal, and these stories it's very easy to identify with, because we all have dreams, we all sometimes want to do extreme things, we could hate someone, etc. So these kind of stories is the one that we love to talk to each other with. I mean, you can go in the history in Norway, you can see the Viking stories. It's about crime, it's about power, it's about heritage, it's about who's gonna be the next king, etc. And you have the folkloristic adventures. It's about power, money, sex, and so I think crime fiction is the modern saga.
Okay, now let's move forward and now trying to find out what is crime fiction to you. What is a good crime fiction for you as a writer?
What I like to read, you mean?
No. What is a good crime fiction? When you write a crime fiction story,
yeah,
how do you define and what is your criteria of a good crime fiction?
Oh, yes. I mean, this book, this novel has to have a plot, good plot. I mean, the genre itself is defined by because crime fiction is a part of a game between reader and writer. The reader knows what he gets, and the writer has to give it to him or her, but in her own way, right? So I have to fulfill the reader's expectations in a way, but I also have to surprise. So I have to be creative, and that's very difficult because this fiction is there's a lot of books coming, and an experienced reader knows a lot of the plots that exists. But there has to be a good plot, there has to be a strong plot, there has to be logic, consistent, and there has to be characters that I can believe in, the reader can believe in, characters that you can meet on the street. They have to be good described, and there has to be a good dialogue, because one-liners and dialogue is part of the game between reader and writer. And there has to be locations, there has to be I have to be able, when I go in a place, and when the reader comes to Oslo, he can follow my book. That's important.
I hope they don't follow you home. So what are the three key things? Let me rephrase. What are the three key advice would you give for aspiring writers who wish to aspire to become fiction crime writers?
The first one is not to give up. I mean, talent is one thing, but experience and courage is also important things. Not to give up, try again. And the other thing is to not be. The other thing is to do research. It's important to do research because research is exploring reality, and the story has to be realistic. And the third language is to read a lot, because reading makes you learn.
Now, what's your top three books that you you recommend that you read so far?
From other writers.
Yes, that's right.
In crime fiction, I think you have to go to the classics in a way. For instance, if you learn about a book that has a very good plot is books by Ross MacDonald.
Oh, Ross MacDonald.
Is the American writer Ross MacDonald or Agatha Christie. So maybe Then There Were None by Agatha Christie is a very good book, and a classic with very good characters is an American book, The Maltese Falcon.
The Maltese Falcon.
By Dashiell Hammett. That's a very good book to read about good characters, I think. And for locations, I would say James Cromwell, The Last Good Kiss, is also an American. It was very much American here, but I mean, they are pioneers.
Yes. But you know, Mr. Dahl, we want to thank you for joining us here at the National Critics' Choice, and thank you for sharing with us some insights on being a crime fiction writer.
Thank you very much.
And life must have been really exciting. And so, but before we let you go, have you ever received threats by criminals who wrote to you and said that they read your book and found that it's too realistic?
No. But I have had a lot of comments and mails from criminals that say they enjoy the book.
They do. Once again, thank you for joining us, Mr. Dahl. And what's next for you? Are you writing your next fiction right now?
Yes.
And could you share with us some sneak peeks?
The book I'm writing now is a non-fiction.
It's
about a real crime story.
Okay.
It's a story about a big killing in Norway. There was this ship, the ferry, MS Scandinavian Star, was set on fire, arson, in 1990, and 159 people were killed.
Oh, wow.
And the police, they found someone they said had done it, and he was dead himself. And since that, for now 20 years, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories about what really happened. And I've been working research for a couple of years, and I'm writing this book now. And I solved the case.
And when will that be coming out?
It will come out this year.
This year? Well, please do let us know so that we can look up to it.
Yeah.
And once again, thank you for joining me here with Mr. Dahl on the National Critics' Choice. And please look up for his books. And if you do miss some of his earlier titles, do look up his name, Mr. Dahl himself, on Amazon as well. And you might get a good copy that's still in a good mint condition. Once again, I'm Robin Stienberg here at the National Critics' Choice, the Stienberg Review. Have a good week ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. That was good. I like that.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Towards